Hello people, Trigger here. Just a quick vlog, up to date, see how we're getting on. Just doing a bit of flavour chasing at the moment in time. Got some nice custard in here, chef's Welsh custard on top of the V-sticking. It's in the Sqwonk Baby version 2, which is it's okay. I've got it at 90 watts though, so not something you can take out with a small battery. You need at least dual 18650 in there to get any sort of time out of it. But clouds for days, flavour for none. Let's do a bit of chasing, a little bit of turning round. I'm going to mess with the stuff that I normally take to work with me, my daily rotation. So yeah, 90 watts, does the job. It's a nice enough tank. Another stock coil. One of my favourite stock coils so far that I've used is the Horizon Tech Falcon. Nice mesh coil inside there. This is the M1, which is a single mesh run, very open. If I can literally go straight down, about 60 watts. The actual coil's coming out at 0.13. So it's quite low, and have a bit of a puff there. Same again, bit of custard, bit of Welsh. Flavour on it is banging. It's like the last smoke tank I've done. They've just turned the flavour up a touch, and it is just the way that the actual coil's built in the Horizon Tech that makes the Falcon such a good tank. But if you really want to go for flavour, you need a rebuildable, and if you really want to go for proper flavour from a rebuildable, Blitz FP. Same again, custard in there. Got a dual build in here, two dual, let's get this right, fused Claptons with Tofo's own, and it's coming out at 0.15, and that's a same again, a lot of cloud, thick cloud, a lot of substance to the cloud, what I like to say, a saturated vape. Ideal. Big tank on it as well. It's a 30mm tank, so it don't really fit on everything I've got. I mean, you stick it on something small, like the old nunchuku, and it just looks, well, wrong. It turns the nunchuku into more or less like a club. You feel like Captain Bloody Caveman. But yeah, FP from Blitz Enterprise. Let's get it right. The FP actually stands for the FPIG, if that makes sense. TVP, the Vaping Postman's own design. It's one of my favourite tanks of all time, basically. It's one of the best tanks that I've ever used. But there's better flavour. And you ain't going to get no better flavour than a dripper. Now basically what a dripper is, an RDA, a rebuildable dripping atomizer, and all you've literally got is the same as what you've got in the tank. One single coil on this one, and then the cotton going through, and you just go drip drip drip, a little bit of e-liquid, slam your top on. Now what I've done with this is the Witofo Nudge. It's the Nudge 22, and it comes with two caps, and one of the caps, if you look, it's got a very small little air hole. So I've put a build in there, and my usual coils that I use from Witofo, I've wrapped another leg on them to get more a higher rate of ohms. So if you've got a higher rate of ohms, which this is coming out at 0.8, you can use it at a lower rate of watts. Higher the ohms, lower the watts. So I can lower this right the way down to around about 30 with my own little 510 drip tipping with a Witofo Nudge, and it's like a mouth to lung. It's a restricted lung hit, if that makes sense. You really have mouth to lung in it. So and the flavour is just boom, proper, because you're literally taking the juice straight from the coil, off the coil, straight into your lungs. So it beats anything else, hands down. Some tanks are getting close now to the flavour of an RDA, but you still can't beat it. Problem is, they're a little bit of a pain in the arse when it comes to dripping, especially with a small top on, because normally you can drip straight down the centre and then just vape, drip, vape, drip. But now it becomes a pain in the arse when you're constantly having to wet your wicks with e-liquid. If only someone would have thought of another way of doing it. Well, just so happens, just come out, and as everyone's raving about it like mad, I thought, well, I had to go out and buy it. So yeah, the bank can argue with me the end of the month, but the top side, and what that basically is a 200 watt mod, what someone's whacked a bottle on the side of, and then the bottle feeds straight to the centre pin of the RDA. It's what's known as squonking. So you've got a teeny little hole in the centre there. And what it does is the juice comes straight up out the bottle, straight in, floods the actual cotton, and then you vape on it. And then when it starts to get dry, squeezy, 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 start again. So the real star of the show today is this big bad boy, the top side. Now, I've been using it now for about roughly over a week, and I cannot knock it for anything. It just works. The size is a bit over the top, but it's what you expect for 2 batteries. So you've got your 2 batteries, and then you've got your bottle, which is your bottle at the front here. It's all silicone, and all you literally do is pull the top off. You might be able to see it if I squeeze the bottle on the recurve and I go whoop, whoop. See it's starting to juice up, whoop, whoop. And once it's all nice and juiced up, put your top cap on, have a vape. Whoa. And that's bloody nice. So where I'm carrying about, well, that's a bit oversized tank, but I think that's about 5ml of e-liquid you can get into that, cram into it. That'll hold 10ml. Now, because of the TPD, when you do buy it, it comes with a free gift. The free gift actually is the 2 bottles that you get with it, because that's the way they have to sell them in this country. But yeah, I'm quite impressed. The actual tank that I've got on top of it, the RDA, is the Recurve by Watofo, and Mike Vapes, an American reviewer, who is, well, he's just God. He's one of the top reviewers, and everything he touches turns out good. But yeah, this is the actual spiel you get with the top side. Dovpo, quality control, and unlike Sqwonk, you know it's been checked. What else we got here? Battery. What to check for your batteries just in case they'll go a bit pear-shaped, and not to use them and throw them away responsibly. Which, as I found out the other day, the best way of doing that is bugger off down to Aldi. They've got a big bin there with old batteries, and you can throw them in there. Because I had 2 good dead on me. A little bit of a briefing on how the screens work and stuff like. It's really basic. It's like single, one over the top. You can't go wrong with it. I mean, this also does temperature control, which nobody's interested in. It also does voltage, which, unless you're old like me and never use voltage, you ain't interested, just use the wattage. And that's about it, really. You've got another piece there. It's Heathen, Billy Heathen. He was the reviewer who designed the original top side that went down a storm. And they come with these. And these and the little bottles that you use. So the actual bottle itself comes with a nice little top on it, so you can unscrew that, fill your bottle up, put your top back on, stick it in your pocket, and you've got a spare. So you've actually got 20ml you can take out with you. And then all you do is, from the base, open it up. You got your 2 batteries which go in parallel. And there's your bottle, which I won't slide out at the moment of time. You just literally pull it out in that direction and put it back in. That's a bit, yeah, that's a bit poor, I must admit. Considering the quality of what it's supposed to be and that, and the build quality of it, that's a bit pants. But we can forgive it that for what it does. But yeah, it does the job. And the top side bit, now Sqwonkers ain't new. They've been around for ages. You just get squonky, have a squonk. Your bottle got empty. You have to unscrew your bottle, fill it up, put it back in, screw it back in, and half of it went over you, and the rest of it went on the floor, and you just got enough in the bottle to use. It was a pain in the arse. But with the top side, the bottle and top, let's just shut off somewhere over there, but I'll pick it up in a bit. That's your actual tank now. You just fill it straight from the top, just like you would with a tank as such. Fill your 10mm up straight in there. It's a lot less messy, a lot easier, and it's a spring-loaded top as well. So you unless you're a complete nutter, idiot or hooligan, you ain't going to screw up the threads. Yeah, very impressed with this. Very impressed. It's become something that just sits on the coffee table downstairs, and I use it all day. I mean, I've got that at 50 watts. Don't need no more than that with this brilliant single coil recurve, which is a Wotofo, I think. Hang on, yep, Wotofo. I do like Wotofo. I like their coils as well. That does just work. But yeah, the top side, I really am rocking at this week. That's like what I use at home quite a lot. And I've been trying to step out a little bit of my comfort zone when it comes to juices as well, because I've found myself for the last like 7 years or so, basically any vaping custard or different variants of custard. I might go a bit extreme one of the days and have blackcurrant with custard, but still custard. So I've been trying to branch out, widen my horizons, and I've tried a few more different flavours. Some of them are my hits, some of them are my miss. But basically anything that Chef put out, because I make my own e-juice, I use their concentrates, it's banging, does the job. The only trouble is with making your own concentrate, if you don't like it, you've then got 200ml of it to put up with, which I end up taking to work and just vaping and vaping and vaping just to get rid of it. But I'll show you some of my my gear, what I take to work with me on a daily basis. So we've seen the Sqwonk V2, which come with the Arcis, which is a really brilliant mod. The tank, well, it's all right. It does the job. It's just the coils. A pack of 3, and one of them will work. The other 2 wow, or it's just the flavour as well. The bedding in on it, you're talking 3 to 4 tanks before you get the flavour out of it. But it was with a mod, and I've given it a go, so the coils don't cost me anything. The FP, banging tank. It's a Munch tank. Does the job properly. Really easy to build on, and one of the days I'll actually do a full rebuild on that. The Risertech Falcon, really brilliant stock coil. If you're a vapist, if you're into vaping, if you're a hobby vapist, not if you've just quit smoking and you want something to vape on, there's no point getting something like this, a cloud chucker, because you'll just cough your lungs up. You need to stick yourself on something a little bit more mouth to lung, like a fag. But once you're into it, I suggest you go out and buy one of these. Really is good. Then you've got a couple of rebuildables, what I take to work with me. Coiling too, which I do the same. That's got a Juggernaut coiling, which you probably watched on my my other review that I did of it, the coiling too. It's a stock coil, but it looks and acts like a, sorry, it's a rebuildable tank, but it looks and acts like a stock coil. So if I can figure it out, pop, stick your juice in once you've got it built. And you've got the actual wattage right, which at the moment in time, here you go, hold on me. That's something different. See, no more just custards. That is rhubarb and custard. But you get what I'm saying. It's something different. It breaks up the constant custard. Really good tank. Really is a good tank. Not the easiest to build on. That's what I found. I found moving the actual coil lower down to the air, you're literally reducing the flavour all the while. You need to keep it up quite high. But yeah, check out people who actually do reviews if you want to have a good look at the tank. Unlike myself. Now this has become a solid little tank that I really enjoy. All my walkabout vlogs I've done, I'll generally take this with me. The Dead Rabbit. Like I've said before, it's a Marmite tank. Some people like it, some people hate it. I've got two Taufa coils in this, but they are the big juggernaut coils, and I've managed to cram two of them in and then pull them quite apart away from the actual airflow, so I can still get a decent bit of air out of it, because you put them too close together and it restricts it. But that has got something different in. Double drips. That is so nice. It's double drips, lemon, lime, tangerine, iced. So it's a menthol. So when I'm at work, what I'll be doing is spending a lot of time wiping my nose. But it's the lemon and lime and tangerine. It just works. It's what's known as a tank cracker, because the lemon, the lime, and the menthol work together to split plastic tanks, which is why I've got it in a nice big glass tank. But the Dead Rabbit, how you can say that's a crap tank, I don't know. I mean, I just love it. It's probably become one of my favourite tanks of all time. And because the way I've got it set up on the old nunchaku, which is a single 18650 again, you stick anything on top of it, certain things just look right. I mean, that just looks right. Don't look right with the wattage I've got going through there. This is the wattage going up. Ooh. All the way to 80. And have a bit of a vape on it. Don't forget it's a single battery now. Still works alright for me. What I tend to do is, because it being a single battery and you got 80 watts in there, is when I do a build, I tend to build single coil for it. Because obviously the more coils you put on, if that makes sense, you're halving the resistance. So you put, let's call it a 1 amp coil, just to make it easy. 1 amp coil, the resistance becomes half. And that's how it drops down. So these a little bit higher coils, which I thought I'd try, but it does look like a truncheon now. Looks like Captain Bloody Caveman. I mean, look at the size of that compared to that. It just don't look right, does it? Still fun, but yeah. Turn it right the way down to 65. So got me custard in. Oh yes. But yeah, that was just a basic, just little bit of a run through of what I take to work with me, and of course my go-to, which is my Aspire Nautilus all-in-one, which basically stays in my pocket just in case I have to go out in the van somewhere, or I've got to pop over to the office because I don't like big clothes being thrown around, which is fair enough. So I just vape on that with Heisenberg in, which is another fruit menthol. I'm knocking the menthols lately, man. I do like my menthols. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll probably do something a bit more in-depth in the week. A little bit of a look at a build. But thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. And I hope you enjoyed it. See you later. Ta-ra.